All right, this is the final 9 from the Valdosta Open here. We got Colin Forehand sitting at 11 down. Jamie Kiep is at 2 down. Laymon Gray is at +1, and there's a tie for fourth between Dax Spriggs and Reese Pitts. And here's my co-commentator, Will.
Yo.
He's also catch cam with us. I'm throw cam. Colin was throwing an H3V2 there, I believe. Giving a little high five or a little wave. Here comes Jamie Kiep.
He just needs to wear a short sleeve, like a no sleeve shirt.
I know.
Wait, he pulls that up all the time. Ooh.
As Jamie would say, that goes to Boomtown.
How far is this hole?
It's 433 feet, with OB surrounding the pin. It's a very tough 2. There's only 1 birdie in the final round of the Valdosta Open on this layout.
There went my dad.
Yep.
Guest appearance.
Laymon's ripping out a shot, and that's almost perfect for the short pin, which is right there on top of that hill right there. Here comes Reese Pitts right here. He got into the final 9 by forcing a tie with Dax for the final spot, so they let them both play.
It's about the only disc I could actually see from the tee box on the catch cam.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to film that day.
Yeah, the sun's going down and it's hard to see anything.
Here's DJ Dax.
DJ Dax.
He plays disc golf a little differently than most of us. Starts out with a forehand roller. Jamie was yelling right there because that's his truck.
Yeah. He told Dax not to scratch the paint before the shot too.
Then Jamie came over to me and told me to make sure to get that truck in the shot too. So
Obi.
So Dax will be putting for 5 from there. We also had an ice cream truck right next to where I was standing to film that, so that's why there was a little bit of noise.
No, it wasn't ice cream, bro. It's froyo.
Whatever.
It's better.
Laymon's throwing his little approach shot there, and here's Reese with a long bid for a 2. Little step putt. Almost.
Hit basket, though.
Colin putting for a 2 from up here. Same thing as Reese, just a little bit low.
Vroom.
Jamie just missed that one a little bit to the left there. And then from here on, we just have a bunch of tap-ins. Dax takes his meter. This all averaged 3.82 scoring average during the round. So it's definitely a tough par 3. Right now, hole 2. We're basically going to make a big right turn. That's a par 4, 492 feet. And what Colin does here is about what you want to do is just get out here and have an approach shot.
The funny part on the catch cam, I couldn't see these first 2 shots once it got to the ground. It was kind of blind, and you couldn't really see the screen because there was nice glare. But somehow I framed these up. I don't know how.
If Jamie had pushed that roller another 30 feet farther back, you would have gotten perfectly in the middle of that opening, have an easy approach for a birdie. Or long eagle run. Laymon turned that one over just a little bit too much. Here's Reese. Exact opposite mistake.
I threw a forehand on this hole and was absolutely way down there.
Reese, that is not what you're trying to do, but Reese found the very corner of the inbounds down there.
Dax with another roller.
I just like to throw an over a mid-range shot to the corner and have a chance to get a 3.
Another roller.
And another OB. Reese just catches a tree on the way into the green. And here, Laymon had a really tough time getting to this one. It was just a really awkward angle. He probably spent at least about the entire 30 seconds just to find a good way to throw. That's about all you can do from there. I believe this is a PA4 from Colin. I'm just going to try to turn it into the gap. Looking great, but it just catches that tree and kicks off to the left. A little bit farther out than he wanted to be. Laymon just throws an easy little putter shot up in there.
There's no shame in laying up.
Nope. You know the story about this shot, don't you, Will?
Oh, yeah. When I was filming this, I really thought he was aiming for us. And, like, when we were looking at him, he actually had a big smile and was intentionally trying to hit us.
It's funny. Dax is funny.
If you've never seen DJ Dax, go check him out.
Jamie gives him a nice little layout approach shot right there.
He was actually supposed to DJ the night before, but he traded off with somebody because of how tired he was. But
A long birdie putt here from Reese. Just a little bit right. That'll be a nice and easy par. Colin was right here where the tree is just barely catching the basket from his stance. Managed to frame this putt up really nice between his shoulder and the tree. Dead center. Great putt from Colin right there. Nice little replay from Will's angle.
I'm still trying to figure out where he got pants that blue.
Dax has another framed up putt right here.
And if Dax looks weird to y'all, he is wearing a hat under that beanie. That's not you just seeing things.
Classic Dax. Did a bunch of tap-ins. This all averaged a 4.36 during the final round, so it's just a little bit over par.
Hey, Drew, you got taller on this cam.
I did. You can see from Will's camera in a minute that I'm actually standing on a bench. It's an M3 that Colin is throwing, and it's very flippy. And he just catches that tree right there. This hole is 312 feet. There's a hard dog leg to the right. Dead straight where Will's standing down there is actually where the short pin is.
And that hit a tree.
And it kicked back towards the other tee pads. Laymon finds
some
very
route.
Small gap.
I really actually thought I was going to have to move out of the way. I thought that was going to hit us.
Mm-hmm. Reese telling Fritz down there and he's on the right side of the fairway that he doesn't have to move because he's probably going to hit a tree before he gets to Fritz. Then he told us just to go on Laymon's route, but Laymon told him not to aim for it.
Dax tried it too, but we saw how that worked.
And Dax just giggling as he walks away from that shot. Reese catches a tree on that forehand. Drops him in the middle of the fairway. Let's see who's throwing here. I think that was Dax. Here's Jamie.
No, I think that was Reese. It looked like all black.
Reese was the first throw. Before that, Jamie's throwing a deputy on this turnover line. He just catches that tree. Splash.
Baloosh.
Here's Reese throwing his third shot. Went a little deep. Almost gets into the creek back there, but he'll be fine. Dax is running this, as you can see by how far past it he went. I think that's a Blizzard Destroyer Dax is throwing for those tomahawks. Colin's got about 70 feet or so for his two.
Top shelf.
Just a little bit too much on that. 2 on this hole is gaining strokes on the field. There were 0 birdies. Literally, there were 0 birdies on this hole during the tournament, and it averaged a full stroke over par.
That was an awkward step putt.
An awkward stance, but a great run from Jamie. Just comes up a little bit short. Dax has got to deal with these palmettos, but no problem.
Hey-oh.
That was a great putt. And here's Laymon tapping in for his. Let's see, that was a 3 for Laymon. It's a 4 from Reese, and a 4 from Jamie. And Colin tapping in his 3. Now this is a safari hole. We're playing from hole 4's blue tee pad to hole 11's basket. Colin's just laying up with a D1 out to the left side.
Super laid up.
Somebody asked him if he was going back to hole 3 or something, or hole 2 actually. Laymon was asking Ice about the OBs right here. Then just doesn't get it far enough and never actually crossed inbounds. So this is actually a first that's ever happened in the final 9 of the VO in 8 years of doing this, that a player did not get inbounds off the drive.
There's not a designated drop zone. There isn't a drop zone.
There will be a drop zone next year if you couldn't hear that.
Yep. So that conversation was just about where he needs to throw from because there is no drop zone. Then he corrects. That's a
And juices it.
great shot right there. It's a good recovery.
Shout out to Kevin on the flags.
Yep.
We should put burn.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, that little excerpt on the concrete pad was like poured like what 2 days?
2 days before the tournament. Yes.
Wow.
Just for this final 9. Jamie just crushes. I think this is a defender. Not sure exactly. It could be something else. That's a great shot.
That's a really far shot.
That is very far. That's about 500, 470 to 500 where he threw it to.
More than likely.
And Reese slips right here. And he also doesn't get inbounds. There's Doug on that flag.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So Reese is also re-teeing right here.
So.
And let's have some hyzer out on him a little bit early as well. That also dropped OB, but the spotter gave him a mark saying he crossed inbounds up there in the green up there. Dax throwing his forehand. That saddles up nicely. He flirted with that it would be on the right side there, but he'll be just fine. Here's Colin throwing another D1. Just trying to throw it smooth and get it up there for a 3. And almost skips it in. That was very close. We're about to see a replay and just see how close that actually was in just a minute.
And you need to hear what Jacob says here.
That is within a foot of going in. That was very close to giving us a great highlight. Dax trying to skip it up there near the road and skip it back to the right. Have a putt. It'll come up about 50 feet short. Not sure what this is that Reese is throwing, but it needs to sit down.
And nope. OB.
OB by about 1.5 inches.
What kind of flag is that?
We couldn't tell from the throw area to see if it was in bounds or not. Yeah, you hear Laymon call that OB, but
And he was correct.
he just threw something a little bit too stable on that shot. Jamie's lining up a really high forehand right here. Checking the wind. We have a pretty good headwind at this point, I think it was. So he just throws it up and lets it stall. Right up under the basket. That's a great shot. Tap in birdie.
It's going to be hard to miss that one.
Yep. Here's Dax from about 50, 55 for his 3.
I recall one time would be correct.
Yep. Now here's Colin from about 40, 42 feet. And just barely misses that one right. Reese coming back for his... That is a 7. And then Laymon tapping in. Those are both just tough holes for those two. It's calling for par. Dead center. And then Jamie tapping in for his birdie. That's great. Great way to play the hole. Hole 4. Now we're skipping over to hole 14. This is a 305-foot right turn. There's a Mando there on the tree, so you cannot go hyzer over. This is an evidence, I think it is, from Jamie. And Colin told me that during the round, Jamie put this about 3 feet away from the basket, which is an amazing shot. He just comes up, catches some stuff on the way in, comes up about 60 short.
And what can we see here? Dax with a forehand roller? What is that? The third hole he's done this on?
Yes.
He did it on
1, 2, and now 14.
Yeah.
Will doesn't realize it's still curling, but it is. Here's Colin with the same M3 from hole 3. Just hit the gap and let it turn. That's about all you want to do on this hole. Just squares that tree up perfectly. That was going to be inside. That was going to be at least at worst inside the circle. Doesn't matter where it was going to be. Laymon does something that we all do at some point, just early releases. He's going to have a tough up and down to get his par. Reese just gets his forehand out there. Same thing that happens to Colin. He gets in a crazy roll away.
They had no clue it rolled away.
Yeah, we had no clue that it was that close or that it had rolled or anything. Laymon's throwing his putter down there.
And trickled OB.
And that down slip right there.
There's the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Gaither.
Yep. Dax has a really awkward angle right here to get to the basket. And so he's got to throw a skip shot right here. But it catches a pine cone or a root or something. And it's just outside the circle. I think Reese was running this.
Yeah, he had to be.
Reese and Dax were so
far out of it. They were just running everything.
They were battling each other for the last cash spot, and because they came into this final 9 both at 5 over par for the tournament, and so they were just having fun. Colin line up right there, and at this point in the round, Dax is sitting at +8, and Reese at +10. So
how did that not hit the chain?
Laymon pitching up so he can take a 5. That was another one of those putts that Laymon had to look around for a few minutes and figure out how he was going to throw it. Dax dropping another outside the circle putt. That's his 3rd of this final 9 in just 5 holes. That was a great par save.
Oh, that is rough.
And I misspoke earlier. Coming into this hole, Dax was at +8 and Reese at +9. So now that puts Reese at +10. So they're 2 strokes apart. Jamie wasn't happy with that putt, but it went in.
He's driving away like he stole that.
Mm-hmm. And Laymon is sitting at +5. Jamie at -3, and Colin is playing pretty well at -12. All right, hole 15 here. It's 435 feet, but it plays more like 460, 470, wouldn't you say, Will?
Oh yeah, easily.
And it's down
probably even 490.
It's down this tunnel. It's pretty far.
And it really doesn't look uphill, but it is.
Slightly.
It adds another 10 feet at least.
For Freedom Park, this is kind of elevation. Jamie had the miss that you want to make, which is left, because there are gaps out there, and you can even find 18's fairway, which I think he might have.
Yeah, Jamie, I think, ended up in the fairway just barely.
And what we said about how far this hole plays, this is the best shot we have ever seen on this hole. He's about...
He's probably circle's edge, maybe a little...
I think he's about 35.
Yeah.
But that's a great shot. I know closer is possible, but that was pretty great.
I mean, other than mowing the lawn for us, but
yep,
still pretty good.
Didn't have the audio from that clip, but Iceman said that Reese's shot went farther on the ground than in the air. Laymon comes up a little bit left and short, too.
And if you hear the yelling in the background there is a softball tournament going on, too.
There was a huge softball tournament going on.
Yeah. It looked to be like middle school or something like that. But
Dax tries to throw a tomahawk up to the basket, but he catches a tree and finds the fairway. That's a great shot from Laymon. Those gaps right there are pretty small.
I really thought he was somewhat running this, but not bad.
Okay, now Dax is definitely running this.
Oh yeah, Dax is running this with a hammer.
Yep. Anytime he's throwing this Blizzard Destroyer, you know he's trying something pretty fun. It just doesn't get the skip that he wanted.
Yeah.
That'll bogey.
Normally that would skip high and up like he wanted, but for some reason it didn't there. This really looked like it was going in from
Jamie
my
threw
angle.
a great turnover shot with his deputy right there. Now, Colin has a chance for a very, very rare birdie on this hole. And so,
with a wide straddle.
Yep. Those trees, as you can see from here, where his mini is, you cannot see the basket, but he has to straddle out. About 35 feet here, and he lays out and just barely misses.
It was a great Paige Pierce impersonation on the layout there, but
Laymon taps in his 3.
Not the same results she would have got.
Reese tapping his 3, Colin for 3, Jamie for 3, and Dax taps in a 4. Hole 16 here. It's basically you're doing a U-turn right, and it's a par 4, 358 feet with that double Mando right there off the tee. It's a hole you can really find trouble on, and that is a great shot from Jamie. Just finds a gap and just goes. Turns pretty far right. You can see the basket way down there. Colin's lining up a sidearm here just to get... This is what I play here. I just try to get down to the alley and then let it dump.
It's really a tough shot. It plays a par 4.
It's a 358-foot hole, but it is definitely a par 4 if you're...
That double Mando is a lot tighter than it looks on this screen.
There are several times I've hit that left mando tree on that forehand, or even just missed the mando completely. It's maybe 5 feet wide.
Almost don't fit through it.
Yeah. Laymon throwing his mid on a turnover line. Same line as Jamie, just doesn't keep it turning as far. Dax is lining up something. You never really know with Dax. It's a great shot. That's going to put him in position. Reese throwing his putter up shot again.
There's like 3 tunnels you can go down to get down there.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably, you want to be in the middle.
Like what Colin has right here. You want to be a little bit farther off that tree line that he's standing next to, just so you can have better footing.
But the right line sets up for a nice little backhand hyzer, or then the left line sets up great for a forehand hyzer.
But he threw a great little touch putter shot, give himself a birdie putt. Dax line from the tomahawk.
Dax playing unconventional disc golf.
And just squares that tree up.
Surprised he didn't bring it down.
Yeah, I know. He hit that very hard.
Somebody better check on that disc.
Laymon's in the deep gap right there. The ones to the left of the basket. And he's throwing forehand just to skip back towards it.
If it wouldn't have hit that tree, it might have actually had a chance.
I know. And Jamie is one alley deep of the third gap that you want to put your disc in off the tee. He's got to throw another touch putter shot.
And there's another tree.
Yep. That'll still give him a birdie putt. Now here's Dax with a very long birdie putt. This is from, what do you say, about 80, what you say?
Somewhere in there.
70, 80. Just gets a little high on him and catches that branch and drops him down to the right. Reese lining up for his birdie putt.
Reese. By the way, the catch cam's in the bush.
Yes.
So it's called bush cam.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really cool angle right here of Jamie's putt.
Yep.
Oh man, you switched off of it.
Yep.
Sorry, and the good view got switched off on the editing. I don't know who edited it.
I have no clue. That was a great putt there from Jamie. That's gonna be a birdie.
I mean, Bushcam had the best angles on these putts, but
here's Bushcam.
Bushcam. I think I moved out of the bush because I was too. Yeah, I moved out of the bush because it was too close to the basket.
Dax for par. Colin for his birdie. You got to have your
about
routine.
A 20-footer.
Yep, it's about 25 because that's the edge of the rope right there, end of the rope. And
yes, it is a boy.
Yep. He gives him that out of baby, and Dax has to make his comment about it.
Yep. Dax is one of the funniest players if you get a chance to play with him.
Yes.
He's hilarious.
Hole 17 here. It is a 339-foot dead straight tunnel shot. It's really hard to see.
And that's not a boy.
Because of this lighting, it's very hard to see where these discs are going. But you just want to throw that gap directly in front of the short pad. You just want to get dead straight through there. Colin is throwing the hyzer route with an H3 V2, and he comes in a little bit. That's an okay shot. Like you can get closer, but it could definitely be a lot worse. This hole played 3.41 in the tournament, so 0.4 of a stroke over par.
And there's a tree.
Yep.
These lines are a lot tighter than some of these cameras might make it look. They're really tight.
That straight gap is about a 5 foot wide gap.
On both sides of that middle tree.
Yep. And the tree's leaning, so it's not consistent.
Yeah.
Dax told me to move to this other lane for this shot because he was going to throw the unconventional line. Mm-hmm. And he had a great line on it, just caught a lump of pine straw, and it took all the energy out of it. And it's
and
just
he's, what, 4 for 8 now on forehand rollers?
I think so.
Yeah.
Jamie actually got Colin to let him use one of his discs. Or it came out of Colin's bag at least. But Jamie used to be a Prodigy sponsored player, so it could have been one of his old. I don't really know.
It was a nice upshot, though.
Yep. Either way, it gives him a great chance for a par putt. Laymon, I think that's an M4. He's throwing a little forehand turnover. That's another one. Laymon had a lot of shots this final 9 where he had a lot of options to look at. Dax is running this one as well.
Unconventionally.
Almost drained it.
I really think he was trying to hit me again like he did on 2.
Yep. Now he's going to have about a 35-foot putt for par. Reese just throws a putter out. He'll have a look to save his par. Colin really wanted to get this putt. And he starts to walk it down, then it just barely drops and hits cage. That was a good run, though. Laymon's par putt comes up a little short and hits cage. Here's Dax from just outside the circle. He had just taken this rope and looked to see if he was outside or not, and I think he was. Yep.
That's the boy.
Yep. That's his 4th out of 8 holes. Not only is he 4 out of 8 with forehand rollers off the tee, he's also 4 out of 8 with outside the circle putts.
Yeah.
Reese's par putt, a little bit high. And at this point, he's just kind of going away from him, and he's going to take an unfortunate 5 there. It's a good putt from Jamie for his par. And Laymon tapping in for a 4.
I got a 3.
Hugs all around.
Oh, wait, man.
Laymon has to get a selfie with the group right here.
Mm-hmm.
And Fritz decides to join in.
It's a great photo bomb.
Yep. Well, didn't you say you thought I was taking their picture?
I really did. From where I was standing, it really looked like you were actually taking the photo and not a selfie.
Yep. I could see how you would think that. Holy teens, 1,000-foot par 5. Dax calls for Boomtown.
Boom,
Jamie agrees.
Boom. And it looks like he just got a little high on it. But still
He was trying
decent.
Jamie loves his flex lines. He was just trying to throw a little flex shot way down there. Just got too high. Colin's throwing a D3 here. A little hyzer flip to turn. Nice flexing.
So that's how that's supposed to be thrown.
Yep. That's about a 450-foot shot, wouldn't you say?
Oh, easily.
450 to 470, something like that.
Easily.
Dax just, instead of just reaching his hand in normal dirt, he reaches his hand in an ant bed.
Yep. I love how he's got the visor underneath the beanie with his sunglasses on the back of the head.
Yep.
And he's 5 for 9 out of the forehand rollers off the tee.
The grass is a little thick at this point, so that forehand roller just loses a lot of its energy really quick. Laymon gets a good one down there. He's just short of the wires. That'll leave him a shot from there.
Most likely he'll lay up.
Yes. There is a ditch from about, let me say, it's about 250 to 100 in front of the basket.
Oh, yeah.
It's like from the 250 range to the 100
and
short.
he almost nailed that car.
Yes.
So I think he did hit it.
He did.
And the funny thing is the van that was next to it with the open door actually had like about 12 people in it. And they're just like, what the heck? And there's another turnover.
I think this is the same shot. Okay, yep.
Yeah,
for some
it was
reason
the same
that's
shot.
in there. Okay. Editing mistake, my bad. So Reese, he's telling us this to go a long way. Same disc he dropped the tee.
And it's doing the same thing.
It does the same thing.
I apparently missed this, but he ended up killing a car.
Yes. And he told them, do not throw that disc back to him because he doesn't want it anymore.
Dax with another forehand roller.
That'll put him in position to get a birdie from where that shot's landing. That'll leave him about 300 away from the basket, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
320.
Yeah. And about this point, our catch cam decided to have a mind of its own and start saying, no more video for you. So, something happened where the battery died and like the memory card didn't want to work after that and something crazy. We still don't know what happened.
No. See, Jamie's drive tombstone right there. There's a lot of giggling going on. I don't know what it was about, but Dax was laughing, Jamie was laughing, made me laugh a little bit.
How did he miss the pole? That was a lot closer than it looked.
And they're still laughing about something. Colin's playing
Layup town.
Yep.
It's a good full shot.
It's about 520 from where he's standing to get to the basket, so it's not a high percentage shot. We missed one of Reese's shots, so that was
literally about 8 feet away from my head.
Yes, that was his 6th shot, trying to save his double bogey.
Yeah, he almost hit me.
Before the shot, Dax looks over at Jamie and says, "Let me see if I can't do what I did in round 1." And as soon as I cut the clip, he says, "Jamie, I did what I did in the round."
Nice little upshot here.
That's a good approach from Laymon.
Yep.
I believe that'll be for his birdie. That putt right there. Jamie throwing 3 from here. Rolling up the sleeve. You see this ditch now. It's definitely in a good spot to force you to know where you have to be to get across, or you're going to take your OB stroke and possibly not find your disc, because that grass is pretty thick and there's sometimes water in it. It's a great shot there from Colin.
Dax throwing from the OB because he never got back in bounds.
Yep.
And I don't think Dax has thrown a conventional shot this whole hole.
No. But that worked.
It actually slid up there pretty close.
Yep. Colin for his birdie. He'll take first place with a 14 under for the weekend. That's great shooting out here. And here's Reese for his double bogey. He's celebrating that one. Reese will finish at 12 over par and take 5th place. Jamie's birdie puts him to 5 under, and that will put him in 2nd. Dax also takes a double bogey, but that puts him to 11 over par and 4th place, and Laymon finished at 4 over par and 3rd place. Thank you for watching.